Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. Today, the Gospel reminds me of one of my favorite childhood stories. It goes like this. There was a king and a young man who was condemned to death. But the king promised to forgive him if he fulfilled three impossible things. First, to come before him dressed, fully dressed, and naked at the same time. Second test, to come before him walking barefoot, but at the same time wearing shoes. The third test was to come before him riding a donkey and walking at the same time. The poor man panicked. This was impossible. He spoke to his elderly father to give him some way of avoiding death. The old man gave him his advice, and then the young man went back to the king wearing nothing, naked, but just a fishing net wrapped around his naked body. He was naked and he was clothed at the same time. Then he walked and went back to the king wearing shoes, and the king thought the young man had failed this time. But the man lifted his feet and showed the king that beneath the shoes he had no soles. He had just the upper part of the shoe. The king was sure that this young man was going to fail the third test. But the young man returned riding the foal of a donkey who was still so young that the rider could touch the ground and walk at the same time whilst riding it. He was riding and walking at the same time. Well, this is a very meaningful story. Wisdom is the gift to be able to reconcile opposites. Ignorance is when people see only one side of reality without even realizing that there can be another side of the reality. Let us be kind and call it short-sightedness. Because of this short-sightedness, we end up seeing life and others from an either-or point of view. Who are we? Body or soul? Male or female? Good or bad? Rich or poor? Us or them? God or man? But short-sightedness does not stop there. Not only does it see just one side of reality, it makes me see just me. So it becomes my body, my idea, my race, my color, my money, my political party, my religion. Me, me, me. Life is all about me. How challenging it is to perceive life from another angle. How hard it is to be far-sighted and see what is beyond me and my little world. To accept and welcome the other side of reality, which is not just me or just mine. This is what kills humanity. What is actually happening in Palestine, all over the world, is caused by what I call blinker vision, seeing only me and my world. We humans, we love division. We love competition. We even make it a sport or a game, races, football. The winner gets it all. Your defeat, I say to my opponent, becomes my victory. Your loss becomes my glory. This is the original sin which affects us humans, stopping at the ego. In today's liturgy, Jesus addresses this issue head on. The evil question of the Pharisees is yet another either or challenge. Is it lawful to pay this census tax to Caesar or not? That was their tactic to escape responsibility. This is where legalism and laws become very convenient. Follow the law, you're always right. You went to Mass on Sunday, therefore you're a good Christian. That saves you the trouble to go beyond the law, to live the spirit of the law. Observing the law makes you correct, just correct. Following the spirit of the law exposes you to the joy of doing much more than what the law prescribes. Jesus goes way beyond human legalisms that justify our either or compulsions. He abides only by one divine spirit, which is always fully open and all embracing, in whom there is no either or. God's spirit of love follows only one kind of law: love your neighbor as yourself. There is no either you or me. There is me, and therefore there is us. That's love. The only law Jesus proclaims through this very nature is the law of inclusion, union in diversity, reconciling all opposites, saint and sinner, male or female, Christian, Hindu, Muslim, all the other divisive choices we make in life. The law of love, the only law, goes way beyond and brings together the seeming opposites, reconciling everyone, everything. Yes, love distinguishes between you and me, but it never separates you from me. That's the work of love. That's why Jesus was never legalistic. He speaks in terms of love when he replies, give what is due to Caesar and acknowledge the difference of the other person in front of you and his needs or demands. Caesar represents human power, you see. He's the human side of who we are, which puts us in an either or situation because I cannot be you and you cannot be me. But we can either see this as a separation, as an exclusion, or we can see it as a wonderful gift that God gave to each one of us. Unique, special, unrepeatable persons, and yet who cannot be fulfilled until they consider each other as brothers and sisters, as one. Jesus' answer, repay to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, means to accept the fact that you are unique. Yes, you're special with all that our humanity entails, our beauty, our ruggedness, strengths, weaknesses. Jesus is saying, acknowledge that you are humans. Acknowledge the humanity of who you are. But don't stop there. And he continues, give to God what belongs to God. In other words, accept the fact that even with all our weaknesses, we are children of God, and therefore not just human individuals, but also divine persons, like God who created us in his image and likeness. call us composite, call us hybrid, call us mixed up creatures, human and divine, weak and precious at the same time. We are not earthly creatures, but also God's own sons and daughters, born out of the infinite love of the Father. Once you embrace and experience this gift of love within you, you will be able to reconcile Caesar and God, humanity and divinity, good and bad, weakness and strength, sinfulness and holiness. Put love where there is weakness, and you will discover God. If you find it hard to understand all this, well, just ask a mother with her disabled or even with her impossible child. Ask a confirmed sinner who, in spite of his selfishness, risks his life to save a drowning, unknown person. That is bringing together the impossible and the possible. No, we are like that young man of the story. We are neither saints nor sinners. We are neither good nor bad people. We are just God's little, weak, fragile children through our fallen human nature. But also, at the same time, we are His sons, we are His daughters, we are gifted with God's own Spirit, who is the Spirit of love. Only love reconciles opposites. Only love makes us beautiful hybrids, capable of walking the hard but beautiful life journey, naked and fully dressed with our dignity, barefoot but with our shoes on, and walking while striding on a humble, small, meek foal of a donkey, like Jesus did before he paid the full price of his love for us. All this is possible and true because God's love became fully human, with and for us, in Jesus. He made himself the weakest among us to save what is the great and marvelous within us. God bless you and thank you.